Bet you didn't see this.
The whole thing flipped, literally overnight, right after he found out the truth about his wife.
So when I first saw this video, I didn't think much of it because the account that shared it is constantly sharing like bullcrap and just absolute propaganda and just this made up stuff. And honestly, when I saw this, I was like, this is so easy to fake. It looks AI, it sounds AI. Even if it's not, it's such an easy thing to fake. And it just kind of seemed like they were reaching. But watch the rest of this video and then I will show you exactly why I believe that this is actually 100% real now.
People keep saying it was just different faith backgrounds. Nah, don't kid yourself. What she had wasn't faith. It was loyalty to this shadow group nobody talks about in public. The synagogue of Satan. Think Illuminati energy, but without the memes. Real old families, real money, real power. They don't recruit people, they place people. And she wasn't a spouse, she was a placement. When Charlie figured that out, dude was wrecked. He told me straight up he was getting ready to leave her. Divorce papers weren't a maybe, they were coming. He finally realized his whole marriage was basically orchestrated. Like some dark force cast her into his life. And then, shocker, he's dead a few days later, and that's when the book changed. I'm telling you right now, the version they put out to the public, that is not the book he wrote. They rewrote whole sections. They stuck in weird spiritual stuff he never believed in. They twisted the tone, the message, everything. It's a cover job, man. They're muddying the waters so bad that people are second guessing who he even was. This fake book gives her an out. It gives Israel an out. And it gave the people who ended Charlie's life a clean story to hide behind.
And so I didn't share it. And I just kind of thought, okay, this is one of those things where it really is just a bunch of propaganda, right? Now, that's not to say that I didn't believe what this person's saying, because I have been saying from the beginning that it is an absolute possibility that Erika Kirk is a plant. Do I know that? No, not at all. But I will tell you, even though I didn't share this video because of the way I felt about it, I just saw this video pop up. This is going around right now, and it is real.
Implication of that book always seemed weird to me. That book, I don't know what it's called. Something Charlie Kirk Synagogue something. And I said, that book is just weird. And in one of her interviews, she said that people can say whatever they want to say about her husband. They could try to look at his videos. None of that matters. This is his book. This is his final book. This is what I'm trying to tell people.
And this is his final message. This is what I'm trying to express to people. This is Charlie's last book. So people can write books all about my husband and what he believed and what he said and analyze his videos. These are his words. And when you read them, you feel him come to life.
Then I'm sitting there like, so you're telling us we should get the book and ignore everything that Charlie said out his own mouth. These are the words that we need to hear from Charlie. The ones that is written that could not be altered at all. Not the words that came out his mouth and the things he stood for. That's when I said something is weird. Now that they're saying that whoever was in the shadows, which I will believe that's completely just fake and people just wanting to make content. However, it intrigues my interest. If in that book, it praises everybody that everybody is speculating to be a part of his assassination, and it bigs them up to the point to try to get them out the way, and they're pushing that book as Charlie's last book. So to basically exempt themselves from public scrutiny, then that would be extremely weird. So I would love to know exactly what's in that book. I actually should buy it.
We have 5 major threats that make our grid extremely vulnerable that we've presented to congressional officials. 1 being cyber, 2 being hackers, 3 being physical threats, 4th one is solar EMP, and the 5th one is man-made EMP. So the concern that we have is that we put out this critical information, and when we go over this risk analysis, they hear what we're saying, but they don't want to take action.
One, that sounds like AI to me. I'm not even gonna lie. But I think people have verified already that this video was some form of documentary or something like that. The weird part about that is it's not even that she's in a documentary, because if it's a documentary, her family does have military ties. It's not like that's impossible for her to be in a documentary. But the psyop is her being the trad wife. So now when we think about Erika Kirk from before, when Charlie was alive, you're not getting this history of her. You're getting the nice, sweet trad wife. They always spoke about her staying home with the kids. Charlie would go out there and get the money. She's just basically the mom. That's it, right? And the house, the person that keeps the house up. That's what was their agreement. The basic trad car in life. But now you see, before Charlie Kirk, she was out and about. This woman was nowhere near the architect you would believe would be a trad wife. And she'd been with Charlie for just a few years, and that's when she, let's call it, played trad wife, because apparently she was in theater as well. And then now she is the biggest thing in the world. This $500 million company she takes over. And before, she was still in beauty pageants. She still was on a whole bunch of different TV. It's so weird, the TV shows and things that she did before, to the point that it doesn't even align. It doesn't even make sense.
And why do you think that we are not putting funding towards defense?
Because we're stupid.
My name is Erika Franzve, and we're going to be scouting around talking to all of the participants that are here for the conference.
Hey guys, I'm Erika, your host today for The Buzz. I'm here with our gorgeous June girl crush, Jessica Alba. Hi, and thank you for watching the Webathon Live here on Wake Up Media Network.
We are here at NextCon with Shema Hyder, the CEO of the Marketing Zen Group.
Today I want to talk to you about an EMP threat. What is an EMP threat, and how can we make sure that we're protected. And prepped and everything else in between? Well, this isn't something that is admitted in Hollywood often. According to People magazine, the story is totally false. It is clear to say that Mr. Affleck is a man of many traits.
From Guy Kawasaki, Steve Wozniak, Thomas Gorney, Pat Waters, and so many more.
And then it's like she's always everywhere. It's like she's pinpointed in so many places. So this woman was important before Charlie, but it made it seem like she was a regular girl, and it had nothing to do with her just being aligned with Charlie by Tyler Boyer, which is a shady dude. So shady that, you know, even after being caught, he had to get a presidential pardon. This is the person that runs the entire Turning Point USA. This is the person that get all the donors for Turning Point USA, allegedly. This is also the person that introduced Erika to Charlie Kirk. And that gets even more weird when you start to realize that, not even start to realize, when Candace Owens went and talked to Erika, she asked her a simple question. Well, how did you meet Tyler Boyer? Because that's important, because he's the one that hooked you up with Charlie. And she said, well, I met him at this event with Trump, and we met right there. We was next to each other. She said, well, that's a lie. That can't be true, because Tyler already admitted when he spoke that he got a call from you. And the call from Erika was like, I want to help any way I can. Kind of weird. And he said, I put her with me right behind Trump. That's a different. So that automatically entails that he knew you before. Y'all didn't sporadically just meet at the Trump gathering. That's another lie down Erika Kirk's belt. But she said, oh, I don't really remember. Although that wasn't, too. Actually, that was kind of long ago. It was 10 years ago. But still, I think that was 2016. But she said that they met there. Still a lie under the belt. Right? So we have to start worrying about this woman. And people try to make it seem like, oh, she's just a widow. I'm like, yeah, she's a widow as well. But that doesn't mean she's exempt. You know how much widows ended their husbands? A lot.
We know that her parents were connected to this, or are connected to the CIA and the DOD. And that's 100% fact at this point. So, maybe they used her for the video as like an extra or something, because she's just like the family, and they're like, hey, we need somebody to stage that they're briefing national security professionals on national security threats regarding EMPs and grid failure in the United States of America. Would you do that for us alongside of the head of the CIA and former energy specialist? I feel like at this point I'm taking crazy pills, but you gotta admit, once again, it's just one of those things that's like, this is really weird. A lot of things about Erika Kirk are really weird, right? And the connection to JD Vance, dude, JD Vance's past, we don't need to go into that. That would be a whole other 10-minute video. But the background of JD Vance, the amount of times his name's been changed and all the shadiness around him, things are not adding up, or maybe they're starting to add up. But if that wasn't weird enough, allegedly, there's rumor going around that Erika Kirk actually lost custody of her kids. And by the way, I didn't get that information from some internet forum or some random account or something. Anna Paulina Luna said it herself on the PBD podcast. Watch this.
You're victimizing the victim, if that makes sense, because at the end of the day, she did lose her husband. She lost her kids.
Yeah, so stack this on top of the big...
Nah, I think that she could have just made a mistake right there. Sometimes people just misspeak. And, you're just trying to pile things on top of each other. So I don't know if that meant that. I don't believe that. And I also believe that Candace Owens was looking for something from Erika, and she's in contact with them. And she said that basically Erika was delayed in her response or whatever it is because she had, the kids were sick and some other stuff that she got to do. She is CEO of a big company that she happened to inherit. So I don't believe. I think that's just propaganda, to be honest. I also think the first video is propaganda, to be honest. But we don't know. But it starts to paint the picture. Now, if in the book, that's the only reason why we should even look at all of this, because this all could be propaganda, but we should all look at it because it leads us to the book. If that book bigs up the same exact people that everybody is speculating against a little bit too much, then that opens another door.
Not your average puppet or average child from some random person is going to end up in a film or a documentary with the CIA and our intelligence agencies trying to push some type of 5th generation warfare psyop, would they? I want to give a big shout out to Hustle Bitch for putting this video on the radar. Now how the last couple months, a lot of people have been attacking people like Ryan Maddow, Candace Owens, and Ian Carroll for calling out the fact that, something just wasn't right about Erika Kirk. I don't know what it was. It was demonic. It was evil. You couldn't really put your finger on it, but something just wasn't right with this one. Something didn't sit right with how she was asked about the questions about her husband, about her child's birth dates, about where she met Charlie, how that went down, and why she was a much older woman so attracted to somebody so much younger than her. Normally women date older men, right?
This is all information that is not known to me. So if you knew this information, please let me know that you knew that information, because I must be lost in the sauce. I did not know that she was much older than Charlie. Actually, you should check that. I don't even know if that's true. She's 37. Charlie Kirk was 31. She was born in November. She's turning 38 this year. Charlie would have been 32. She was born in 88. So she's 5 years older than him, because she's born in 88, right? Yeah, she's 5 years older than him. So that checks out.
Right? But maybe it was just an anomaly. Maybe Charlie Kirk was just the Man of Steel, and there was just something more to this story. Weird how she just feels like an intelligence agency construct. Everything about her seems fake. Everything about their relationship seems fake. Everything about how they met seemed fake. Everything about their love story seems fake. And everything about how she's responding since her husband had his head blown off on live TV in front of the world to see, and she's not, or Turning Point is not, asking any questions about the entire operation and how it went down. Something just doesn't sit right. Well,
I would agree with that. Turning Point, we have to realize that Turning Point are the only group of people that believe everything that the Fed said from day one, no matter what. They're the only group of people that say, we forget, well, not the group, it was Erika that said it, but they followed behind her. But the people that are investigating the assassination of Charlie Kirk and said, we don't really like that Fed slop, those are the people that they decide to attack. Why?